How's it going, everybody? My name is James, and today we are going to be checking out some of our newest updates that we've made to the A1 EdgeFinder Pro. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the EdgeFinder, this is our market scanning software tool that helps you find better trading entries. We have so many different tabs here on the left, as well as so many different assets, even more than you can see right now. In fact, I'll show you because I'll add our neutral biases as well to give you a full picture of all of the different assets that we track here in the EdgeFinder. But today we're going to be looking at some of the changes that we've made to the Smart Money Tracker. So if you're familiar with the EdgeFinder already, you know that we are constantly striving to create the best trading tool possible for traders, and by doing so, we are trying to update, upgrade, improve all aspects of the EdgeFinder at all times. So let's go ahead and dive into some of the newest features of the Smart Money Tracker. Now, first thing you'll notice right up top, the bar charts still look the same. We have our most bullish assets here on the right, our most bearish assets over on the left, and by hovering over the red and blue bars, you can see the total percentage, both long and short, for each of these individual assets. For example, right now, as far as institutional traders are concerned, I should mention that, by the way, we are taking a look at COT report data here in the EdgeFinder. That means that smart money traders, institutional traders, however you may know them by, these are kind of like big money hedge fund guys. We can actually take a look at the COT report, which is a report that shows exactly how many positions and what percentage, both long and short, these traders are going on all of these different assets here. We can get access to that data and we can kind of play around with it and display it in lots of different ways to give you really in-depth ways to look at all of this data. So we can see over here on the right, our most bullish asset right now from smart money traders is currently US oil at 75.23% long and 24.77% short. Whereas the South African Rand ZAR here is the most shorted asset at 86.68% short and 13.32% short. Now, just below that, we have our numerical chart here with lots of different numbers to take a look at. And for the most part, this is the same, except for one small change that is actually super useful. Beforehand, all of our assets were in this white kind of gray text here, but now you'll notice that some of them are red and some of them are blue. And if you look right up here, actually, we have a little bit of text that says blue text, net bullish change in most recent reporting, red text, net bearish change in most recent reporting. So what that means is we can take a look at the changes long and changes short from the most recent data release. So for example, something like gold is blue here, which means that they had an increase in long contracts and a decrease in short contracts from the last data release, which means that institutional traders are starting to be pretty heavily favored on the long side for gold. Whereas something, say, like the US dollar here, we see red text, so I know that we had a decrease in long contracts and an increase here, right here, in short contracts. So this is just making it even quicker for you to realize kind of how these assets are shifting either long or short in terms of institutional traders and their positioning. So that is the first update there. The next update that we have is our week-to-week data. So you can select your asset here. Right now I have Euro USD selected, and I can see the long and short percentages week to week on the euro here. That's really interesting to see because you can see how it's been trending week to week. You know, up here with our bar chart, this is the most recent data. So I can look at the euro and I know that currently it's 73.33% long. I can look here at our numerical chart I can see our total number of long contracts. I can see our total number of short contracts, the percentage long and short, as well as the changes long and short. I can again also see that it's red here, so I know that we've recently had a decrease in long contracts and an increase in short contracts, although it is still long overall. But a useful part of being able to see this red text here and knowing very quickly that we had a decrease in long and an increase in short here can help you kind of find if positioning is switching soon. Now, it's still very long bias at 73%. But if this were a little bit closer to 50-50 and you saw that happening, you may think to yourself, here in the next week or two, COT might be favored in the opposite direction. And this is the start of the turning point, if you will, for that particular asset. So that's why we did this. It's something really, really interesting that you can spot very quickly now with that red and blue text. But back to week data. Again, taking a look at the euro, the bar chart shows you the most recent data, but you can get this week-to-week data and see how it's been trending throughout the past couple of months since we started tracking this data. And so we can see that it's been pretty heavily favored on the long side pretty much all year. The dollar here, we're looking at the same thing. Again, I have Euro USD selected, and the dollar has had a lot more movement, if you will. So you can see that it spiked in long contracts in June and into the beginning of July, but then in July, those long contracts quickly began to fade, and here come the short contracts, and now we currently sit at 53.29% long and 46.71% short, whereas just a few weeks ago we were sitting pretty heavily on the long side, 77.3% long there. Lastly, we have our positional bias, and this again shows you how bullish an asset really is. So we're looking at Euro USD still, and what I can see here with this most recent bar, I'm going to use this one as an example, although you can see week-to-week data here. What this most recent bar is showing me is the difference between the long percentages. So if I come up to the euro right here, I can see that it's 73.33% long. The US dollar, on the other hand, is 53.29% long. So if I do a little bit of quick math, I know that the difference between those two is 20.04%, meaning the euro is 20.04% higher on the long side compared to the dollar. Why that's useful is because you can see if one asset has a much stronger long percentage than the asset that it's currently paired up against, in this instance, the euro and the dollar. So I know just by looking at this that the euro is favored 20.04% higher than the dollar at the moment. And in fact, if I were to look back to say July 30th, that number was even higher. The difference between the euro and the dollar the week of July 30th to August 6th, the difference between those two long percentages was 23.33%, which is useful information to know because that means that institutional traders are heavily favored one way or the other. The closer that number is to zero means that they're basically 50-50, but the higher that number is or the lower that number is, you know that they're heavily favored one way or the other. So again, 20.04% is currently the difference between the long positions for the euro and the dollar. So there we go. That was a really quick breakdown of some of the changes that we've made to the Smart Money Tracker, one of our more popular features. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want the EdgeFinder for yourself or you want to try it out, you can use the links down in the description below with promo code A1YT for a discount at checkout. And if you have any questions, you can use the chat with us link down there to get connected with one of our team members instantly, and they can answer any questions that you have about the product. Don't forget to check out the links in the description if you want our broker recommendation, access to our free Discord, free EdgeFinder, or want to chat with us on Telegram. Remember, you can watch us live in the markets every morning starting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and we have lots more free trading tools and content available on our website, a1trading.com. Thanks for watching.